So, I know people have, this has been talked about a lot already, but I haven't had time to really talk about the whole quote-unquote DC plan. And again, I use that term loosely because we've seen how Warner Brothers and DC kind of don't really have a plan, they just kind of wing it. So, I guess really it all depends on Batman v Superman, but they've really announced their movies, what they're doing from 2016 to 2020. So, in 4 years' time, we've got 10 films. And I'm going to talk about 9 of those because obviously the first movie is Batman v Superman. But also in that year, we're going to get the Suicide Squad. Now, that is a weird-ass choice. Suicide Squad right out the gate, right after Batman v Superman, the two most iconic characters in DC Comics, and in comics general. You're going to follow up with that, and you could argue, oh, well, Guardians of the Galaxy had a bunch of hardly known characters, and yet it became one of the most it's one of those highest-grossing films of the summer. And fair argument, but here's the thing. Marvel didn't start right out the fucking gate with Guardians of the Galaxy. They didn't start out with that. They waited for Phase 2 to do that, and yeah, they gave it a little time. They gave it some time to, before, running that out. And in that regard, you can't, yeah. in that regard, it was, even then it was a ballsy move for Marvel, and yet that move paid off. But DC doing that right out the gate, and I understand, yeah, Suicide Squad, because they don't really have a Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's what DC's trying to do when they announce Suicide Squad, is to have their own Guardians of the Galaxy kind of story. The rogues that are forced to band together to do good. Problem is that they're kind of they're still bad people, but they're forced to do good things under Amanda Waller. But yeah, I find it interesting that the second movie you're basing this universe on after Batman v Superman is Suicide Squad. And again, that's something DC's been kind of building on for a while in the New 52. But here's the thing. We don't know what the lineup is going to be because Suicide Squad is always goddamn changing. And so, for the most part, some villains get killed, or Waller just gets pissed off and blows one of their heads off when she's, when she's in a bad mood. So I think the list of villains you can use is undeniably, you could use all types of villains over and over again throughout this entire, movie. However, the one villain I think you should keep, that needs to be a mainstay character is Deadshot. And yeah, Deadshot's been a member of the Suicide Squad before, and he's usually in a lot of incarnations of the Suicide Squad. So, I would really like it. The one character you can keep it, the one character you should have in here, at least in the Suicide Squad roster, is Deadshot. And also another would be Captain Boomerang. But here's the thing, I'm kind of guessing that this will be their way of bringing in Harley Quinn and Deathstroke, because DC's still trying to, make them the two greatest things in DC Comics more than Superman and Batman. So I would not be surprised if Harley Quinn and Deathstroke show up in this universe. Also, another thing is that it has been confirmed that we are getting a Superman and Batman, a solo Superman movie and a solo Batman film somewhere in this timeline. We don't know when exactly, but yeah, more solo Batfleck. I'm kind of hoping this isn't more of this probably won't be an origin story for Batman, so maybe they'll already have an established Batman universe. That's what I'm kind of hoping with a lot of these DC movies, that they're not so much origins as they are, adventures. Right out the gate, we get a brief mention of their origins, but yeah, this is the main action story. And that's what I'm kind of thinking they might be, because Snyder just said, hey, look, these heroes have been around for a while. In an interview, he was like, look, this is a DC universe that just showed Superman, but yeah, these other heroes have just kind of shown up, and they've been kind of doing their own thing for a while. But getting back to Suicide Squad, I think, yeah, one, maybe two characters you really should have on there is Deadshot and Captain Boomerang. Those are the only two, mainstay characters you need to keep on there. The rest can be interchangeable, from King Shark to Killer Frost to Firefly. The list is endless. You could honestly have anyone on there. And it all depends on, who's going to play Amanda Waller as well. She's kind of also, yeah, Waller is pretty important as well. So, Yeah, and again, I really find that weird that that's the movie you're gonna go... You'd think Wonder Woman would be right after that, right? You'd, honest to God, think Wonder Woman would be the film to follow Superman v Batman, and then they would hold off for Suicide Squad to be for next year, for the year following, right? Well, DC, Warner Brothers, topsy-turvy land. But yeah, in 2017, we will have the Wonder Woman solo film, and Gal Gadot, that's apparently how you say her last name, is Gal Gadot. And in here, in that movie, we don't know much other than it's going to be her, and we're getting her New 52 origin, which I kind of wish the whole Made of Clay origin was there. Whatever. I guess they're going to go for what we're probably going to get with the Wonder Woman movie is a God of War type film with, Clash of the Titans or something like that, like a Greek monster movie story, a lot of monsters, but it makes me wonder, what villain are you going to put in here? Some people have been saying Cheetah, some people have been saying Cersei. I think it would be cool to have Cheetah as maybe the first villain, or maybe Cersei. Don't go with Ares right out the gate. Do not go with Ares right out the gate, because if there's a chance of this Wonder Woman movie being good, then build him up in a later film. Build him up more. Don't use Ares right out the gate. I think that would be a bad idea. But I think that in that regard, yeah, it's a good chance of that probably happening is they'll probably freak out and go, oh, we need to use Ares right out the gate and make it God of War, but this time Kratos has a vagina. That's what I'm kind of afraid of it being. I know I sound really sound like I'm shitting on all this, but the thing is that DC hasn't really given me a lot of confidence because we've heard all this song and dance before, but I really want this Wonder Woman movie to succeed, even if it is the New 52 origin. I'm finally getting a Wonder Woman in a few years. Yay! Following that is the Justice League movie. Apparently it's going to be called Justice League Part 1. Okay, not too much known about that, but it's kind of interesting that, a lot of the characters, rather than kind of establish them first, they're having them all in one movie, and then out of that we're seeing all the other movies. So again, it kind of makes me wonder, rather than they're establishing, it's going to be more like what these movies what they're probably going to be is, they're probably going to be like adventure stories, yeah. And more like, here's a quick background on the origin, let's get to the story. It's kind of like, it would probably be like Dredd, where it's more of a story than it is an origin story. That's probably what might happen with these other films. So that's what we have for 2017, Wonder Woman and Justice League. Then we have, in 2018, The Flash, who is being played by an actor named Ezra Miller, who I have no idea who that is. And, yeah, with The Flash, I have CW Flash. I have Grant Gustin as my Barry Allen. But, you know what? I know, yeah, they are making the universes separate. They are making the universes separate, which, it's going to be really weird that we have a movie Flash and a TV Flash, and they're two different Flashes. You could say it's a Flash of two worlds. I'm sorry, that joke was stupid. I'm sorry. But am I still looking forward to it? Yeah, I mean, it's the Flash on the big screen. Why wouldn't I? And then we have Aquaman, which again, Jason Momoa playing Aquaman. Really excited to see that because we have the writers for Gangster Squad are on board that. And I like Gangster Squad. It was a fun action film, and I'm kind of hoping, and again, we're probably getting something along the lines of, like, hopefully Peter David's Aquaman, but with the, the New 52 costume, something like that. Or even, the Forever Evil costume he had. The possibilities are endless with that. So I've already said my piece in the past about the Aquaman movie. Then, in 2019, we have Shazam. Well, excuse me, Captain Marvel. I'm not calling it Shazam. The Captain Marvel movie, which we don't know who's playing Captain Marvel, or Billy Batson. But we do know, yes, Black Adam is being played by The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He is going to be in that film. Really, that's the one I'm really excited for, because that one said, hey, like, the director for that film came out and said, hey, look, this film is going to be a lot of fun. It's not going to be dark and brooding. We know about Captain Marvel. His best friend's a talking tiger. We know what we're doing. Don't worry. So, that one said, like, I'm a little more optimistic about the Captain Marvel movie than any other, so I'm really excited to see that. Then we have Justice League Part 2. Yeah, the second Justice League movie. Okay. Really curious to see what you do with that. And then in 2020, we get a Cyborg movie. Yeah, a Cyborg movie. Okay. I would care more if he was with the Teen Titans. I would care more. Yeah, because here's the thing. Now, I know Cyborg gets shit on recently because, DC for some reason wants to make him the new golden boy of the Justice League, and I get that. Marketing and all that shit. But here's the thing. Cyborg is better known as a team member of the Teen Titans. Most people know him best from being a member of the Teen Titans, and really, most of Cyborg's enemies were on the Teen Titans. He never really had I don't know how you're going to do a Cyborg movie. I really don't know how, because he doesn't have a lot of enemies, and Cyborg has always been more of a supporting character. And yes, I do love Cyborg, and I really hate to shit, I really am not shitting on him. It's just, really, can Cyborg really hold his own in a movie? I mean, I've been proven wrong about superhero movies before, but yeah, Cyborg's never really had a rogue. What are you going to do? Is it going to be like his origin story? Because that would probably, out of all of them, probably be the one for the best. Because you could say that, you could probably have him as Victor Stone, and that's probably what he's going to be in Batman v Superman. Throughout all the movies, you're going to see him go on this journey of wanting to be a hero. Then, accident happens in maybe Justice League, and his father makes him into Cyborg. So out of all of them, that's probably the one where you're probably going to get an origin for, Cyborg. But again, it's kind of like, well, he doesn't really have a lot of... He's more of a supporting character. And I've always been an advocate, because in the pre-52, Cyborg was getting on in years. He was kind of drifting away from the Titans and, headed towards the Justice League. But making him right out the gate a member of the Justice League and forgetting all that great continuity with the Teen Titans and all those connections he had really just bugged me. That was the biggest thing, of just making him a member of the Justice League right out the gate and completely giving a middle finger to, anything he had to do with Teen Titans. That's what really bugs me about the whole thing. But with Cyborg, am I intrigued of what you could do with that? Yeah, sure. I mean, you got him, I'm not mad because, Cyborg doesn't have villains, so he can't have a movie. No, I'm not saying that at all. It's just that Cyborg has always kind of worked better as a team character. Here's the thing. Cyborg, like I said, works better as a team character. He's a great team player. He's the great tech guy. He's always great for having a lot of backup in his story. He's always the backup character. And he's always been, like, whenever you see Cyborg, he's usually, more than often, on a team and giving support. So, yeah, I mean, could a Cyborg movie be done right? Oh, yeah, absolutely. The thing is that, I'm still kind of, just a little leery is all I'm saying. I'm just a little bit leery about all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to shit on Cyborg, and I don't mean to shit on the idea. But the thing is that you really gotta sell me on this. And finally, we have Green Lantern. Yeah, Green Lantern. Now, the thing is that there's a part of me that kind of wants, Green Lantern to Hal Jordan or whoever they use, whether it be... Because it's either going... Let's face it, guys. It's either going to be Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart. That's pretty much... As much, Sorry, Deanna, Pop Culture Diva. I know they'll never use Kyle Rayner in here. But let's face it. It's either going to be Hal Jordan... And I don't think they've said who's going to be Green Lantern yet. But yeah, it's either going to be Jon Stewart or Hal Jordan again. And either way, I think it would be cool, interesting if, like, they said, yeah, here's a quick backstory on, Hal Jordan or, Jon Stewart. Because if it's Hal Jordan, yeah, you can just say in the beginning credits, yeah, of Hal telling the story of how he became a Green Lantern, and then say, yeah, I used to fight this guy, my best friend Sinestro turned on the Green Lanterns and I had to fight him. Then have Sinestro come in, or some other villain, whether it be, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. He was a big part of using the stealing the entities in Jeff Johns' run. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. But yeah, I think, yeah, you should do more cosmic stuff than Earth stuff, and have, rather than have a, you know, or, like, again, I think Green Lantern, you can do a just straight out the gate action story and, you know, just an adventure, rather than do a whole origin story over again. I think that would probably be for the best. I think that would probably be for the best. And in there, you can have like Hal trying to stop, I don't know, Kanjar-Ro as like the beginning villain, and then you can move on to a few other villains throughout the story, and even have Sinestro. Yeah, you can finally have, yeah, you can have that, yeah, like I said earlier, Hal tells a story of, you know, he was trained by Sinestro, and then Sinestro turned against the Corps, he defeated him, Sinestro comes back, and Hal has to once again fight him another time. So that's pretty much what I think. But again, I'm really kind of like, am I excited for these movies? Oh yeah, there's a part of me that's like kind of nervous about it, but at the same time, I want to see these movies succeed. I want to see a DC cinematic universe. I'm kind of like, oh yay, even if it is mostly New 52 inspired. But yeah, but there's again that part of me that goes, what if it sucks? There's always that fear. Anyway, guys, what do you guys think of all this news? And what movie out of all these films are you most excited for? And what do you think what it'll be like with all these films for the next 4 years? You know. Anyway, once again, hope you guys enjoyed all this, and I will see you guys later.